Here's the other thing that's always bothered me about the MVP award. So, okay, you got the MVP, Patrick Mahomes, your most valuable player in the whole league. Then you've got the Offensive Player of the Year award, which went to Justin Jefferson. How is the MVP, if he plays on offense, not also the Offensive Player of the Year?
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so we're saying that Patrick Mahomes, who plays offense, is the most valuable player in the NFL, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got this other award. It's the Offensive Player of the Year, which goes to the most valuable offensive player, right?
Yeah, but MVP can go to anybody. MVP can go to offense, defense,
Right, right.
but usually it's a quarterback.
But why wouldn't they be the same person? So like if it goes to a defense, if MVP goes to a defensive player, why isn't the Defensive Player of the Year also the same person?
Probably because they don't double up on awards. They give everybody a chance. That's just how it works. I mean, like even on Madden, they know that.
I know.
Like if even on Madden, like they'll have specific players that are like top players and stuff, and then they're usually not candidates for Offensive Player of the Year if they're good enough to be MVP. It's not necessarily it's just one of those things where it's like they're trying to honor as many players as they can. I don't think it's kind of like why it's like the Grammys. Whenever it's like why honor all these people that like it's like okay yeah you're giving them like 6 different awards and you're like oh yeah this is stupid and then but you go to like the NFL awards and like oh yeah Patrick Mahomes wins MVP but he can't win Offensive Player of the Year. So like
Yeah, it's stupid.
it just keeps a good balance. That means Joe Burrow could win Offensive Player of the Year.
That's so stupid though. If why don't they just call it like the most valuable quarterback or something?
Well,
Because
did they is it's divided into AFC and NFC, right? Or is it just
no.
Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player? Okay.
Yeah, it's
So,
just offensive and defense.
well there you go. Well, there you go. The most valuable offensive player could literally be anybody else.
Okay, but who is
Could
the
be
most valuable offensive player? Is it Justin Jefferson or is it Patrick Mahomes?
it could be Justin Jefferson.
Well, he's the offensive player of the year.
Exactly.
Why
And
isn't
you know
he
why
MVP?
why isn't he MVP? Because see, the thing is Patrick Mahomes alone had 41 touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
and 12 interceptions. Justin Jefferson made Kirk Cousins look good and helped his team win a bunch of games this season, making him very valuable as an offensive player. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a quarterback, but as an offensive player, like, for example, like Justin Jefferson, like, it's very important to have, like, a specific play. That's why they say it's like the most valuable player on the offense, because, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a quarterback. It can be a player too that helps the team succeed. And Justin Jefferson had a lot of huge games this year. So I don't.
Right.
I think you're looking way too far into this.
I think the MVP is a quarterback award, and the NFL should just come out and say that.
No, because I mean, not recently. It's been a lot of quarterbacks, yes, but it has gone to other players in the past. I mean, if you look it up,
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking it up right now because I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me. Like you're saying that a guy is the best on offense except for this other guy. The last non-quarterback to win the award was Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
He
but,
had to run for
Adrian,
2,097 yards.
yeah, but that's crazy for a running back.
I know. That's how insane you have to do to get it to a non-quarterback.
Exactly.
So it's a quarterback
So-
award.
It's not a quarterback award. I mean, for years before, like if you look like back in like the 90s and stuff, like there were a couple running backs in there, like Barry Sanders and Terrell Revis, and then even like in the 80s, there was a right outside linebacker that won. There was a kicker in the 80s that won.
When do you think the last how many non-quarterbacks do you think have won the MVP award?
It's probably like they probably won 30% of them.
30%. Well, you gave me a percentage, so I don't know the percentage, but so non-quarterbacks. Let's see. There's been
Because I was looking. I mean, not in the last 20 years, but like over the course
It's
of
exactly
NFL
30.
history.
I don't know how you did that, but yeah, it's 18. I don't know how you did that. It's exactly 30%.
I just kind of looked at them like, yeah, it's probably about 30%. Maybe I should change my major statistics.
It's just guesswork.
Yeah,
Well,
guesswork.
I still don't get it. I think if you're the most valuable person on offense, or if you're the most valuable player, then you're also the most valuable player on the side of the ball that you play. But
I mean, Justin Jefferson this season had 1,809 yards receiving.
and I'm not saying Justin Jefferson shouldn't have gotten the award. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe he should.
He had only 8 touchdowns. So that's kind of crazy.
He had 9 touchdowns.
But, what, all overall season or just regular season?
Oh, that might have been.
Either way, but like that's still really good. But like most of the time, wide receivers won't win MVP because they have to have like 2,500 yards.
Heck, Cooper,
they have to more or less. They have to literally like for a non-quarterback to like, because the reason that quarterbacks win all the time, in my opinion, is because most of the time the MVP throws for like 5,200 yards, has like 52 touchdowns, whatever, really high amounts of things with less interceptions. For a running back or a wide receiver or somebody along those lines to win it, they have to match a quarterback's energy. But like, obviously, like there's no way a wide receiver is going to get 5,000 yards. So they usually try to like equivalent it. So like if Justin Jefferson would have gotten like 2,300 yards and maybe like 14 or 15, maybe even 18 touchdowns, he might have gotten second place for MVP this year. But like, it's just how it works, you know, because the most valuable player is definitely based on touchdowns,
I know,
wins, yards,
I know.
and how clutch you are. And the reason Patrick Mahomes won is because there was a lot of games this year he's been pretty clutch.
Well, Cooper Kupp last year got the Triple Crown, which is very rare for a wide receiver to do, and he still didn't win MVP.
Yeah, but the thing with who won MVP last year? It was what, Aaron Rodgers? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
No,
he's
yeah,
COVID MVP.
Yeah, he's COVID MVP. He won both COVID years. Nice. Okay. So
Now he's gonna go lock himself in a dark house and figure
Cooper
out his.
Kupp.
Did you see
Cooper
that?
Kupp, not yet. Hold on. Cooper Kupp had in his 2021 season, he had 1,947 yards receiving, and he had 18 rushing touchdowns and 16 receiving touchdowns, which is absolutely insane. How, in my opinion, how Aaron Rodgers that Cooper Kupp didn't win that, because that's 30 some touchdowns. So I can understand that. I can understand the confusion with that because then at that point, Aaron Rodgers in what was it? Aaron Rodgers 2021 stats real quick. He doubled him in yards. So like
he's throwing them.
Because he's throwing them. But he only had 37 touchdowns. And Cooper Kupp over here as a wide receiver had over 30.
And again, Aaron is throwing them to people. He's throwing them to different people.
Receiving and rushing.
Yeah.
He actually had more rushing touchdowns. That's actually crazy how good he was that year.
And he triple crowned something. I think there's only like 5 times that's happened.
And then homie Cooper Kupp got hurt this year.
Yeah, he did.